This is the concept video for math class. So the project says that Homestown is creating, or Homestown currently has, 3 hospitals within its city limits. You are part of a committee planning the construction of a new ambulance dispatch center. The infrastructure of the city is based on a grid system. All north-south traversing roads are named streets, and all east-to-west traversing roads are named avenues. Main Street is considered street number 0. So it says Angels Rest Hospital is located at the corner of East 3rd Street, so that would be 3, since east to west means your x-axis. So that would be 3, and then it says and North 7th Avenue. So that would be your y-axis, since it says north to south. So the first point would be 3, 7 for A. And then B is located at the corner of East 9th, which is again the x-axis, that's 9. And then North 9th Avenue, which is the y-axis. So it's 9, 9. And C is located at the corner of East 5th Street. So that would be 5, then 1, since it's the North 1st Avenue. So now that we have these points mapped out, which A equals 3, 7, B equals 9, 9, and C equals 5, 1, the next part of the project says create a map on graph paper that shows Main Street through East 12th Street and Homestown Avenue through North 12th Street. Show the locations of the 3 hospitals and mark them as points A, B, and C. So if you finish those 2 steps, it should look something like this. So you have the A mapped out, which is 3, 7. So you go up x-axis 3, and you meet where the y-axis is 7. So that's 3, 7. And then B is 9, 9, so it's 9 and then 9. And then C is 5 and 1. 5, 1. And it says Y is the streets, X is the avenues. So the next part of the project says use the perpendicular bisectors of AB, BC, and AC to create the boundary lines between hospitals. Extend the boundary lines to create exactly 3 clearly defined regions. There should be 1 for each hospital. So to find the perpendicular bisectors, you first need to find the midpoint of AB, which the A equals 3, 7, and B equals 9, 9. So the formula for midpoint is x plus x over 2 and y plus y over 2. So if you 3 plus 9 over 2, and then it's 7 plus 9 over 2. So 3 plus 9 is equal to 12 over 2. And 7 plus 9 is equal to 16 over 2. So if you solve that, that would be 6 and 8. So now that you have your midpoint of AB, you now have to find your slope. And the formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 would be 9. 9 minus y1, which is 7. So 9 minus 7 over 9. Since 9 is x2, and then minus x3, or x1, which is 3. So that equals 9 minus 7 is 2 over 9 minus 3, which is 6. So you have your slope, but it asks for the perpendicular bisector. So you need to find the opposite of this slope, which is 1 over 3 perpendicular is 3 over 1, but it's negative, since it's the opposite. So now we have AB, you have to find it for BC and AC. So after we found these, we have to do this second part, which is actually finding the perpendicular bisector. Which, to find the perpendicular bisector, I'm just going to use AB as an example. You have to plug in the perpendicular slope, which is negative 3 over 1, equals, then you kind of have to make like a slope formula, but with the midpoint. So I'll just say y minus 8 over x minus 6, since that's the numbers up there. So you do negative 3 times x, which is negative 3x, and negative 3 times negative 6, which is positive 18. So if you do that for the other side, it's 1 times y
equals y, or 1y. And 1 times negative 8 equals negative 8.
So you want to get the y and the x on the same side, so you'd have to subtract the 18, which would be subtract the 18 from both sides, which should make you have negative 3x equals y minus 8 minus 18, which is negative 26. So that'd be negative 3x equals y minus 26. Actually, you can't have your x being negative, but we'll save that for last, so you'd have to subtract y from both sides, which would equal negative 3x minus y equals negative 26, but you cannot have your x being negative when it's in standard form. So that would be times negative 1, which would equal 3x plus y equals 26. So you have to do that for BC and AC next. Okay, so after you found the perpendicular bisector formula for BC and AC, and by the way, for the midpoint, I just like to make a correction. It's not 2 and 4, it's 4 and 4, after I went back and redid it to check my work. So after you found the formulas for each one, now you have to graph it. And to graph it, I'll just use AB as an example again. To graph it, you would have to find the slope, which would be, you'd use perpendicular slope, which is negative 3 over 1. A quick way to check that is you put, formula would be negative a over b, so x would be a, y would be b, so it'd be negative 3 over 1. So to graph it, you would have to find the midpoint, which is 6 and 8, which is right there. That's 6 and 8, and you'd have to do the slope, which is negative 3 over 1, which is down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1.
Down 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1. I'll just do it up once. So it's over 1, up 1, 2, 3.
So you have to connect these lines, and you do it for every single one. Okay, so the next part of the project says to create exactly 3 clearly defined regions. There should be 1 for each hospital. So after we found the AB for every single one, like the perpendicular bisector actually mapped it out, we need to erase 3 lines to make it clear. So I think we should erase this line.
This line and this line.
To make the lines easier to understand, I colored them in. So the next part of the project says, now that your dispatch center has been built, you're ready to receive emergency calls from the residents of the city. Using a map you created, mark the locations of the following callers and determine which hospitals they should be routed to. So Frank is 11 and 4, which I mapped right there, 11 and 4 for Frank. Gina is 12 and 2, so 12, 2.
Gina's right there for G. Henry is 6 and 5, so I have him right here, 6, 5. And Iris is 8 and 4, so I have Iris right here, 8 and 4.
Henry falls in the green. He should go to A hospital, which stands for Angels Rest Hospital. Frank should go to the B hospital, which is Memorial Hospital, Barnes Memorial. And
Iris should go, since Iris is in red, C, she should go to Cornerstone Regional Hospital. And Gina should also go to Cornerstone Regional Hospital.
And the dispatch center should be built right in the center, which is right there. The point is 7-5.